What's up, guys? It's Paul, the MMA Shark, and something a little different tonight. I am joined here by one of my original subscribers, Mr. Josh Gibson. Josh, welcome to the MMA Shark YouTube podcast.
Hey, excited to be here. My internet's a little wonky. If I cut out, I apologize, but stoked to be on the YouTubes with you.
Yeah, man. I know it's something we talked about in the beginning that you wanted to hop on. So what good timing. I mean, October's been awesome. I hope you've been following the system. I don't think I have to tell you twice, but what's your takes on October and more importantly, UFC 280 that we just got done with?
Yeah, so October was fantastic. If you have some new subs, I know, as you would say, August was a little rough for you, but it's the fight business and it's capping. I mean, there's without no question the hardest sport to cap, and you can't
I love
predict
the challenge. I do.
Yeah, I mean, not only do you have to predict the fighter, but then you're also capping the judges and horrible decisions.
Oh,
So
O'Malley and Yan,
that's
dude.
that was one of the ones I was gonna bring up about 280. Yeah, I don't get how anybody watching that thought O'Malley won.
And the funny thing is only two people that were watching it thought O'Malley won, and it was two of the three judges watching the fight. And, the good news is that at the MMA Shark, I don't risk a lot of juice. It didn't change the trajectory of our night, thank God. It was a 2-unit parlay with Aljamain Sterling, and, it would have been nice to be up 18 instead of 14 or 14 instead of 11, but, it didn't kill us.
No.
You being a subscriber of mine for so long, did you know I was going to be on Aljamain Sterling? Were you hoping I would be on Aljamain Sterling?
Yeah, so I kind of assumed. I personally, I mean, obviously Dillashaw, he's got good ground game, but
yeah,
he I know he's got some strikes behind him where I feel like Aljamain's more, let me get you on the ground and go to work. So I kind of assumed, and kind of going back to what you say, and what I tell people all the time, I try to promote your business, is when you say you're up plus 430 units, it's not like
420. I'm not there yet.
But see, remember that one play I told you I'm risking more.
Oh yeah, you did 20 units. Okay, I'm doing it. And it was like an LFA play.
Yeah, it wasn't even
nothing. Yeah, it's
I
not
didn't
like
even have access to watching it, but
yes,
I was bored. So
it was an under 2.5 on an LFA fight on like a Friday night. And I thought you were shitting, and you sent me the slip, and I'm like, whoa, he just crushed it tonight. So good on you for that.
Yeah, what I love though is, like, you'll see posts on like these forums and Facebook and like the groups, and that's ultimately how I found you, and how I think most people did, was through the Barstool, DraftKings,
right.
the Facebook forum.
Yeah, and a lot Gavin Anthony Sports.
Yep.
Gavin's got a great book, a great site there. I love Gavin. Probably about 20% of my subscribers came from Gavin, and forever grateful for Gavin the GOAT. Forever subscribe, GavinAnthonySports.com.
Yeah, I've been a sub to Gavin since day one.
Oh, me too. Like literally the first day his merchandise launched, I bought a shirt. I mean, Gavin's the man. Gavin and Ryan Meehan are so important to me in the aspect of, they had their businesses first, and they were such guiding points. My business attorney, filing for my S Corp, they were so helpful, and we all help each other with subscribers. So, the three of us are really, and not to toot my own horn, but I think the three of us are three of the best cappers in the world. So we actually care about our subscribers, like, and in return, my subscribers care about me. Like, you're doing this, this is an unscripted podcast we're recording right now, so this is as raw as it gets. We said, hey, why don't we jump on the mic one night? So
I was just trying to bring some looks to the show for you. So
yeah, no, and I appreciate it. And, we're going to get rolling on Spotify and Apple Music. And, my bread and butter is getting the fights right. So I've got to dedicate as much time as possible to the best outcomes possible. You know, on UFC 280, I only had 3 fighters I took that lost. Shitbag AJ Dobson, who for
But it was only a unit.
it was a half unit actually.
Oh yeah, that's right.
It was a half unit. Caitlin Chikagian, which was also 1 unit, and Matthias Gamrot, who was 7 units. But I mean, if I have 4 large plays on a fight and go 3 for 4, I'll take that all day.
Absolutely.
And didn't even count the 3-leg parlay in that. I love Charles Oliveira as a person, as a fighter. I knew he was losing that fight. You know, that's why I was so big on Makhachev. And by
that's one of the. Oops, sorry. Well, one of the things I like about your system, and like, I'll see guys that they'll post plays and it's somebody that's plus 1,000. That's not like anything to brag about. Like
minus 1,000,
yeah, or minus 1,000. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm minus 5-0 on guys that are minus 1,200. Like,
and if you lose one of them, you look like a moron because you're minus 2 units. Or
and what I like about your system, one, if people are looking to sign up, do it. Don't think about it. Just do it. It's worth it. I know you got promo codes, different
always
things.
Yeah, I'm always willing to welcome someone the first month, you know. 25% off the first month, whatever, because you know my retention rate's so high that I'm going to make them money and they're going to stick around. And you know, some left in August, but to be honest with you, it was a bad month and the majority of them are back and they're happy. So and I'm glad they came back. So
and what I like is how easy the system is.
It's like everyone loves the texting.
You don't like, you could not give a crap about UFC and fighting and follow the system and place the bets and see the same outcomes. There's been a few times since the systems came out where I was at a wedding or I had something else to do, and I'm sure people were like, man, why is this guy on his phone? But I was
you're
like,
making money, you're cashing. I'm cashing them all.
Exactly.
So that actually brings me to a question. Again, raw unscripted. Before you got with the MMA Shark, were you watching MMA as much as you are now? Were you this knowledgeable about MMA? Have you always been an MMA fan?
So I used to watch the big pay-per-views. I was not a UFC fight night, every Saturday type guy. Like, tell my wife and kids, like, hey, pretend Saturdays I'm not alive. I would go back in the day to B-dubs when like the big cards were coming out.
You know, the GSP cards and the Matt Serra cards, and
like when Rousey had her run. We'd buddies and I would get together and we'd all split in by booze at pay-per-view. So I mean, I always was a fight fan. I think, I mean, barbaric, but just watching 2 other people beat the crap out of each other is super entertaining.
So the crazy thing with me doing this for a living, doing this as much as I do, the first UFC I ever watched was Anderson Silva versus Chael Sonnen 1.
Okay.
And, you know, you would think I've been watching UFC for
forever
years. I'm 38. No, I mean, I started watching MMA roughly 13 years ago, and started handicapping it 7 years ago. So, you know, I'm pretty raw at it, and I think I still have room to improve, but I think I have world-class results, and I'm hoping that I can maintain that. You know, I'd love to hit 450 units this year, but, you know, I'm not going to focus on that. I'm going to focus on winning and see what happens. So,
and what I like about you too, though, is when we'll have the Bo Nickel fight on Dana White Contender Series that's minus 2,000. You don't have Bo Nickel minus 2,000. You've set up parlays or other plays throughout the evening to where we're almost plus money.
I mean, you got to find the value, and I actually found the value to end Contender Series. We had Bo Nickel to win by submission, which was very tricky because everyone had him winning by knockout. And we had him to finish it in the first round. So, you know, even if a fighter is minus 2,000, you know, Muhammad Makhachev on UFC 280, first fight, he was minus 280. I went with plus 115 for him to win by submission and minus 110 for him to win inside distance. So I always try to find a way, you know, no fights, the majority of fights are bettable. So.
Absolutely. Yeah,
Uh,
but I like how even the ones where you'll look at it. I always look at when the lines come out and kind of see what the weekend looks like,
right.
and obviously you do as well.
Yeah, and
But
if I have to attack a line, I will. You see, I already have the main event play out for Saturday.
yep,
Um, and if you look at that particular line, it's swayed away from our favor already. So
it's
something we
swayed
got to.
within 10 minutes of you posting it.
Yeah, well, I have enough subscribers betting it that, especially on like an LFA or a DWCS card, we move lines. But yeah, I mean, we took something that was plus 110, which is now minus 120. Pretty awesome. And
Really.
which leads me to the Silva Jake Paul boxing match. The reason my play isn't that out yet is because I'm watching all the people that are wrong bet the line away from us, and we're gonna get a much better line. So that's where I'm at with that big triple header on Saturday. Bellator, UFC Fight Night, Cater versus Allen, and the Woodley, the Silva versus Jake Paul boxing match. So
Isn't Le'Veon Bell on that card as well?
yeah, Le'Veon Bell's on that card. I haven't seen an odd for his fight yet. I doubt there will be an odd for it, but we'll take a look at it. Obviously the bread and butter
I'm a
these days.
Steelers fan, so
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, hey, he got a knockout win his first match, right?
yeah.
So, so let's talk about what is your favorite win being with the MMA Shark? Is there one particular winning night, day, fight, card, moment, anything of that nature that sticks out as like, holy crap, how did we win that?
Yeah, absolutely. There's two in mind. One, this was when I believe you were just posting still on Gavin, or you had just kind of had the Facebook, like the free group type
Sure. And
set
then we
up.
went to a chat because everything was
Yep.
getting carried.
Yeah, because you had all your Karens who would complain because we lost a unit or half a unit in the first fight.
Spencer, Boris, yeah, we know who
Yeah,
to talk about.
exactly. But there was a Bellator fight. Ben Parrish, you had it was
Oh, the big tuna.
yep, it was it plus 2,000 to win and then plus 4,000 for first round KO.
Yeah, the big tuna, baby.
And I didn't at the time I didn't have Showtime, and
Okay,
I think we had a UFC card that started early in the day that day,
probably.
and then you were like, "Hey, I'll cap a few of these Bellator
Yeah.
fights," and so I threw $15 on each, and then completely forgot about it, and then I just see the chat going crazy,
Oh yeah, it was big.
and then I pulled out my DraftKings and saw plus $1,000 off of one play. So
Yeah, and I'm good for. I always say I'm good for 2 to 3 plus 1,000 or higher odd wins per year, and we've actually gotten 2 so far this year. One was in boxing, but I think we'll find another one at some point this year. But yeah, the big tuna, that was a big win.
yeah, that
Um,
was fun. And then
my
the other one, I can't remember the pay-per-view, but or if it was a pay-per-view or a fight night. This was still when you were free and was the MMA Shark wasn't a website and
It
whatnot.
was MMA payday.
Yeah, yeah. But I think the prelims were horrible. I think you almost went 0 for in the prelims. We were down like plus 10 units.
Or
And like,
more. There's been nights where we've been 18 after the prelims.
yeah, and people were Boris and those guys were all running their mouths, and then you like swept the main card plus hit like every prop, and we ended the night like it was like plus 25 units, so it was essentially like a 35 unit swing
Yeah, oh yeah,
from
it happened.
prelims to main card. So one
Mhm.
thing I never like, if we start off bad or whatever, it's not like I lose the faith. I mean, I follow the system. You put the plays out, put the units out. Obviously it's up to us how we bet it.
Mhm.
But I have probably for the last 7 8 months I've been following your system pretty much to a T.
Yeah.
um,
And really, it's an 80% system. And even with August, it's still an 80% system.
yep.
Since September 1st, it's been a 93.25% system. So 93.25 has been the percent on cards since September 1st. And that means a lot to me too, that, the subscribers don't give up after, if we start 0 for 2 or if we start 0 for 5, because I kind of give an example of how many units we're expected to risk throughout the night.
Yep.
So if someone loses their bankroll, if we start 0 for 3, I mean, whose fault is it really?
Exactly.
And the
Yeah, and
positive vibes are awesome. I had a new subscriber. I started 1 for 3 on a card that we crushed earlier this month. Messaged me on subtext with a trash can and said it was a dumpster fire. The night went for like 27. I think I sent you a screenshot.
yep,
I said, "Am I still trash after it?" And he unsubscribed. But I felt like I had to defend myself there.
exactly.
Don't call me a dumpster fire on a night we go for 18. Save that for a night we go for minus 15, because it's going to happen.
Yeah, it
Um,
happens.
so we got the best win out of the way, the best wins. Let's talk about, if you have any off the top of your head, what's the worst loss? I will tell you my worst loss, but I want to hear your worst loss. Whether it was a bad beat or an awful call, what was it?
So I have two.
Oh boy. Bring it
no,
on, baby. Bring it on.
but buckle up. No, I'm kidding. And it wasn't. It's just. It's the old. I played Texas Hold'em poker all the time. You remember your bad beats. You don't remember your
Oh,
wins.
absolutely.
Kind of the same lines with gambling. Still to this day, I'll tell you which NBA team I'll never bet on again or whatever.
Is it Detroit?
No, no, it's actually the 76ers. They always
Okay.
seem to just I don't know. But anyways, one that really stung was it was Bellator. It was Horiguchi versus Pettis
Oh, dude,
going
you are
in.
so right. You
That
are
one,
so right.
I mean, I think it was like a 7 unit play, so it
It
wasn't
was
like
on a dog yet.
yeah, and it was just I mean,
Oh,
it was essentially equivalent to Usman Edwards. It was a
yeah. No,
pure
worse, because I think
yeah,
we had like 3 10-8 rounds in there.
yeah. I
And
mean, he was just
Pettis was
destroying him.
killing him. Dude, you are so right with that one. I think he was minus 15,000 when that
Oh
happened.
yeah.
It was one spinning elbow on Bellator 244. Oh my God, that was pain.
Anytime when I'm watching UFC now and we have one fighter and I see the other one go for the spinning, it always like
You're like,
it's like
no,
flashbacks.
wait,
Yeah,
wait, he's
yeah.
not ready. Don't throw it.
It's like PTSD coming.
Yes. Oh no. And no joke, after the Edwards Usman card, I had PTSD. Like, I needed that card to happen to get better. Like, so if the year's going like this, August and July are like this, it's since. So
Yeah, that was a
you've seen
big
it.
swing.
It was a huge swing. Other second bad worst loss?
I would say Derek Lewis.
That was my worst loss. I was gonna
Yeah.
say it versus Tuivasa.
And I mean, props to Shuey. He showed he's got a
Yeah.
chin. I mean,
No,
Lewis.
I love Tuivasa.
Yeah,
But
he was
let's
throwing.
face it, Lewis had him out on his feet in that fight
Yeah,
and just got clipped once. And I think that was like a 15-unit play.
yeah. It was one of the bigger ones.
Largely on house money, though. It was a really big winning card. And I said,
Yeah,
you know what?
we
Let's
still ended up.
yeah,
Yeah,
let's send it.
we still made plus. I think we went for like 4 or 5 units on that card though.
Yeah.
Still,
So I mean, hey, it's a difference of being plus 35 or 5. It hurts, but people aren't going to remember that card as a winning night. They're going to remember that loss. So, a couple things I've changed is my max play is 7 units. There's no exceptions. Unless I literally know 100%. If I have a 97% lean, I'm still only going 7 units.
yeah.
If I have 100% lean, which really should have been on Makachev, I'll go over 7, but and my max dog play is 5 units, and it's just something that's been working. But it's funny that you already addressed the Derek Lewis Tuivasa fight, because that was going to be my number one worst loss. It was brutal. It just happens.
Yeah, I was like, just
Yeah.
because it was going great. Like
Yeah.
you said,
My
Lewis had him.
my absolute favorite win came last year on the PFL semifinals, and it was when Ray Cooper knocked out Magomed. We had 8 units on Ray Cooper to win the fight at plus 300. A little reckless on my end. He was getting crushed the whole fight. And we had 3 units on him to win by knockout at plus 400. That was like a 28-unit win on that fight.
I remember that. Yep.
I remember he clocked him in the middle of the cage, and Magomed literally went flying out cold. And then Ray Cooper came out shit sandwich this season. And I think I actually baited him in that fight.
He was a huge disappointment this year.
Yeah, but I think I was on the other side of it. I remember seeing his brother coming out and just looking like shit, and they're self-trained, and he won his last fight in dominating fashion. I think I got them both right, but PFL started really rough this year. I'm really excited for the finale.
Yeah, the pay-per-view looks
We're
great.
all excited for Larissa Pachenko. She's going to come in a pretty big dog versus Kayla Harrison, and we're going to see what's going to happen there. I know you love Larissa Pachenko fights. When I put her out to win by knockout, it seems like it was free money, and it's always plus money.
Yeah, it is. It'll be what if you had to guess, what do you think the line will be?
I think Larissa Pachenko will probably be plus 300.
Okay.
To win by knockout, probably plus 320, because that's
Yeah.
her only path to victory. But yeah, I mean, that's my guess. This is Kayla's first true test. I know they've fought in the past, but Pachenko has really excelled and have fought real competition, where Kayla Harrison's only had to play with her food and not really get into a dogfight.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens on that one.
And Pachenko's looked, her wins this year on PFL looked dominating.
Oh yeah, I mean, she's just flattening people, flattening people that they're not giving her much hope to flatten. So another exciting thing, obviously, the subscribers that have been with me long enough know I do this every December, and that's Chop Night. And what Chop Night is I pick a card that I think I'm going to obliterate. And last year it went for almost 90 units. It was probably my best card ever.
Yep.
It was actually the Derek Lewis versus Chris Dawkins card.
Okay.
And it went for 93 units on Chop Night, and we raised thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars that I donated to Children's Hospital Pennsylvania. That's coming up again on December 10th. We're doing it on UFC 282, the Prohaska versus Teixeira 2 card. Love Chop Night. It's extra motivation. We do it for the kids. We have so many good people, so many good subscribers, and I'm hoping to write Chop another fat check this year right before Christmas. So near and dear to me. I've my second oldest son's been treated there, and it's just such a good cause. So we cash all year, and what's one night of, if everybody donates a unit or two of their winnings to Chop, we do a great deed. So definitely pumped for Chop Night.
Same. That's one thing I love too, is not only like with your text, the fights come out, but the community that we've kind of, or not.
Oh yeah,
you've started it and you've built it, but there's a great group of guys there. I mean,
absolutely.
There's people that I talk to, private messaging, just them.
Yeah, everybody's made friends, and what you're referring to is our OG chat. And maybe we'll get some more subscribers that I toss in there. I think you're with me 3 to 5 months, and I added a couple months ago, and they're great people. Maybe some of the subscribers get into the OG chat, and in my mind, the OG chat takes the MMA Sharks to a whole new level. I have fun in there when my work is done.
Yep.
But some of the shit that comes out in there, oh my god.
Yeah, there's some character.
Kyle with his memes, and David with his memes, and the Shoeys and the Chug Squad. I mean,
those guys are nuts.
There's a whole second level to this, and Kieran, it's like a family in there. It's a family that we're all getting a second income off of. And,
absolutely.
And the vibes are amazing. Nobody has to pick me up off a loss, because we're just going right along.
Yeah, what I love is we'll lose a fight and everyone's like, as one unit, F it.
Fuck it, let's go.
Yeah,
Sharks only swim forward.
Yeah, we're moving on.
That group, honestly, makes me better, makes me a better capper, because the camaraderie with the MMA Sharks is unreal. So I love it. I love the shirt you're rocking tonight.
Always. Yeah, I'm looking forward to Chop as well, just because I have 2 daughters. I'm blessed. I'm fortunate that they're healthy.
Absolutely.
I couldn't imagine.
I have a goal of 10,000 to send them this year. And maybe it'll be higher, maybe it'll be lower, but regardless, I'm guaranteeing a donation. Win, lose, or draw that night, I'm personally writing them a fat check, and I'm sure the MMA Sharks are going to come through. And now the MMA Sharks a corporation, we can represent every name that's sent. We don't have to be Secret Santas this year. And it's really great.
Oh, it's awesome.
Newsletter for donating several times, and we really are helping people out. So it's really fun to win some money and pass it along. So some exciting stuff coming up. We have UFC Vegas Fight Night 63 this Saturday at 4 p.m. and it's shaping out to be a really good card. The only drawback I could see on this card is a couple fights were just made, like literally today. Like
Yeah, I saw.
Christian Rodriguez got agreed to a fight today. And Cody Durden too, right? Previously.
Yep.
Okay.
We've bet him several times.
Yeah, so he's actually taken on Carlos Mota, who just got signed to the UFC on Monday. Mota has been a prolific knockout artist with LFA. So, Durden taking this fight on a week's notice is just as tough as Mota taking it. Cody Durden's been training for Clayton Rodriguez, who is primarily a grappler and an offensive striker, taking on just a knockout artist now and Carlos Mota. Durden was plus 125 as an original match. Now he's plus 145. So a lot of no love from the odds makers on that fight.
Yeah, completely changes.
Yeah, 62% on Tapology are going with Mota in that fight. Of that, 74% of them are thinking it's by knockout. I personally think Durden's got a pretty good chin. He did get dropped by Makayev. It was Makayev's debut. So definitely an interesting fight to keep our eyes on coming up on Saturday. Two big fights.
Even the main, Rodriguez, that'll be a good fight.
Yeah, and we have 10 minutes left on our Zoom. I'm not going to upgrade now. Calvin Kattar versus Arnold Allen is going to be a phenomenal fight. Co-main event, two pure vets. They've been in the UFC 10 years each, Tim Means and Max Griffin. And I'm excited for the debut of Waldo Carlos Acosta coming off his Contender Series knockout. Yep. Trayshawn Gore versus Josh Freemed. Dustin Jacoby and Khalil Roundtree is bound to steal the show. My boy Phil Haas is on it. So really solid card. Definitely excited for that card. I'm excited for a whole lot of MMA coming up.
Yeah, then we got 281.
281, man, that turned into a sleeper card. Everyone thought that the UFC was saving their best for 280. We look ahead, there's so many good cards coming up. There's no weeks off. Right to New Year's Eve, Bellator and Ryzen doing a cross promotion on New Year's Eve is going to be awesome. So, originally I thought we were going December 14th or December 17th to January 14th without MMA. That's not the case. Unlike football, there's no off season. So
that's what's great about MMA is you, and what's great about your system as well is if you're a football capper, you have 21 weeks of the year. Yeah. With you, I mean, there's maybe 6-7 weeks where there's not anything, and that's probably on the high end.
Yeah, and I mean, hey, I like laying a little bets on football too, but that doesn't mean you can't still profit on MMA. I don't know if you've been betting NFL this year. I've been doing pretty good at it, just throwing a little bit here and there. So, you can bet both.
I've been riding your Giants.
Yeah, dude, my Giants are fire. 6-1. Best. What do I say? They're the best thing since
sliced cheese,
sliced bread, but close.
I thought it was cheese for a
best thing since sliced bread.
A knock at the Patriot or the Packers.
Yeah, sliced cheese. So we have Kattar versus Allen coming up. We have Marina Rodriguez versus Amanda Lemos next weekend. UFC 281, Adesanya versus Pareja. Then we have Lewis versus Spivak. UFC Orlando, our mini shark convention coming up on December 3rd, which you are not attending now.
Don't bring that up.
My heart.
That's still a sore subject.
I hear you. And then of course, family always comes first. Then we've got Chop Night, Prohaska versus Teixeira 2. UFC ends the year with Jared Cannonier versus Sean Strickland. A shitload of Bellator, the biggest PFL of the year. We have more LFA cards, more boxing cards. So, I'm hoping to get this 420 up to 450. People like yourself, I always appreciate you subscribing and giving honest feedback. Again, this was a completely spur of the moment, unscripted podcast that we ran. So everything that was just said is just true and raw facts.
Yes. Like I said, I mean, you have a kind of an army of people that back you and support you, but honestly, you just put up the plus 420, and I mean, that should be enough. That's
a lot of people don't believe it. I'll get messages on Instagram all the time. MMA cappers are up 30 units for the year. How can you say you're up 420? Because I am. I mean, February was plus 93 units. So and January was 55. So if anything, it should be higher, but June, we didn't win much. July, we barely snuck away with a profitable month. And it was only because the beginning of July was good. And August sucked. And even in August, I had winning nights. It's just Edwards versus Usman card. I just couldn't hit the broadside of a barn that night. And it's going to happen.
I sat there after that kick for a solid like 2 hours in my living room, just like,
dude, I was in Orlando at the time.
Yeah, because
we were at Disney. We went to a Buffalo Wild Wings to watch it, and I was just out of my comfort zone. Not to be superstitious, but my God, I make sure I'm home for every UFC card. And the only one I'm not going to be home for, I'm going to be at. So I won't be out of my comfort zone. But
thanks for reminding me again of.
Oh yeah, dude, you should be there. Liquor in the Suite, UFC Orlando. It's me, Luke, Brent, Joe, and I think I'm forgetting someone. Total of 11 tickets, so it's gonna be a good time.
When you sent a photo of where you're sitting.
Oh yeah, dude, we're like in.
I immediately ran out and went to my daughter and I said, "Yeah." So this better be the best nutcracker performance I've ever witnessed.
Like I said, dude, family comes first. We're gonna spend some days in Disney after the fights, and I'm gonna be spending a lot of time with my boys at Fusion XL prior to them. Obviously, I've got Phil Rowe on this card, and hopefully another Fusion XL fighter or two. Hoping Hannah Golby gets a spot on this card, but there's already 15 fights on it, so they've really built UFC Orlando to be a massive card.
Yeah, you guys will have a blast.
Yep. So I have to get back to capping for a big triple header on Saturday. Bellator Milan, my heritage land of Italy. Bellator Milan, Adam Piccolotti in the main event, taking on a absolute stud, which the whole world's going to learn a lot more about. Bellator debut for Monsieur on Saturday. And I think a lot of people are going to know the name Monsieur after Saturday, but we'll see. No official play on it yet, but I just hope we keep cashing tickets.
I know we'll have several CEAs in the chat.
CEAs, that's cash them alls. I think we had 5 on UFC 280. It was weird that I had so many right to win and to win by decision, because that's not like me. I typically don't bet fighters to win by decision.
Yeah.
So I think I hit 3 of them that night, and not something I do, but we'll take it.
There was a lot of decisions that card.
Abubakar Nurmagomedov I had to win by decision. I think there was 3.
Yeah, there was.
Mm-hmm.
So
it's good times. Good times. Love cashing them all.
Yep.
Props to my wife, always doing great artwork and actually setting up the Zooms. And we've got some UFC fighters coming on. Josh, we should do this again. Maybe we could do some weekly recaps.
Anytime. I always happy to support you in any way and talk about. I mean, I'm just one of many subscribers that obviously.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just about at 500 right now, so I'm halfway to where I would love to be.
Yeah.
But I mean, hey,
you'll get there.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I've been doing this 7 years, but the inception of the MMA Shark was 7 months ago. So we're taking off. We're getting there.
Yeah, that's incredible.
Guys, subscribe to this channel, like this channel, the MMA Shark. You can get in touch with me on Instagram at the MMA Shark Capper. Obviously the website, www.themmashark.com. I have a special promo code embedded into that website for all. Save 25% off your first month. Check me out on Facebook. I try to update live fight-by-fight results when the time is given, and I'm not focusing on something late intel or whatnot. I'm as transparent as it gets. Josh right here, real subscriber. He is not a paid testimonial. He can vouch for that. He's rocking the shirt that he bought from my merch store.
Yes, sir. Wear it every Saturday.
See, I don't. I wore it at UFC when I was in Orlando for the Edwards Usman card. I will never wear anything MMA Shark on fight day again. It's like wearing a Giants jersey on game day. It will not happen.
I wear the what's been lucky is I bought some tank tops to show off my sexy body.
Yeah, so buddy.
The blue tank top is what I rock on Saturdays with the MMA Shark. And
so Chris Weber, one of our OGs, bought one of the white fish hats and said, for good luck, I want you to sign the inside of it. So I did. Hey, You know, look at Kyle with the Lucky Rocks.
Yep.
Like literally,
Yeah.
there's a guy from our OG, Kyle, love Kyle, has the Lucky Rocks. He's going viral right now. He brought the Lucky Rocks to every Phillies home game, and they've won every home game. Now in the World Series, he did it for Phillies home games. And like he says, it's only weird if it doesn't work. So
Absolutely.
superstitions are absolutely welcomed at the MMA Shark. I hope to see everyone over at the MMAshark.com. Get yourself a subscription. Look for my preview videos for Bellator and UFC this weekend. I'll have some previews with a free play on each card updated to my YouTube channel. Be sure to subscribe. Josh, thank you for the time. I really appreciate
for having me
here. I love the raw feedback. I love the pure unscripted intel of this conversation, and we'll share this in the chat and we'll get this shared, and give us a comment. Let me know what you think.
Hey, good talking with you.
All right. Thank you.
Go Sharks.
All right. Let's get it.